Okay, everybody, take a deep breath. Breathe in, breathe out. Hello, everyone. My name is Jorge, and my last name is Aristizabal. Now, you better memorize how to spell my last name, because there'll be a test tomorrow, and we'll see if you pass or if you fail. Oh, wait, I can't see, and I can't hear. So I have an interpreter, and my support service provider is here. That's an SSP. And I have a pro-tactile interpreter behind me. So, I know you're going to give applause, but don't just clap your hands together. That doesn't work. Instead, I want you to wave your hands and stomp your feet. Come on, everybody, you can do that. Wave your hands, stomp your feet. All right, I can feel that. Thank you. Good work. I'm 67 years old. I'm married, been married for 45 years. My wife is deaf. I have 3 grown children. All of them are hearing. They're CODAs, children of deaf adults. And I'm the proud grandfather of 8 grandchildren, soon to be 9. I've taught them all sign language. Don't tell my coach, but my grandchildren, even my 4-year-old, leaves her in the dust, is just a much better signer than she is. But I was born in Colombia, South America, moved here to America when I was 30 years old. How many of you have been to Colombia? Of course, you know our coffee is the best. Come on, there's no response to that? Let's have a round of applause for Colombian coffee. It is amazing coffee. I moved here to South Carolina, and then I moved to Seattle, Washington State, in 2007. Then I moved back here last year to be with my family. I have Usher syndrome, and I was diagnosed when I was 18 with Usher syndrome. It's a condition that leaves me deaf and blind, but I also have Parkinson's disease and diabetes. When I was living in Seattle, they had services for the deaf-blind community. I was able to get on the train, buses. I was able to be independent, to navigate around the city. I was able to work, go to doctor's appointments, go shopping. And what was important and what was key to my independence was an SSP, a support service provider. With an SSP and with the support of the SSP program, I could be independent. I could work out my schedule, find out when an SSP was available, and that really was the key to services. You might ask, what is an SSP? They're a guide. They provide me with safety. They give me cues about the visual environment. And those cues help me. They use ASL to communicate with people who are deaf and blind, assist me with transportation, assist me with shopping, getting my hair cut, going to a doctor's appointment, going to the bank, a whole variety of different tasks. Now, an SSP, a support service provider, is not an interpreter, they're not a teacher, they're not a housekeeper, none of those things. They help me take care of things that I need to do to be independent. They provide that personal level of care. They might, so I don't have to be dependent on friends and family. And so I can be independent. My family may support me, but they can get me around the town. and I don't need to be asking my friends or my family. When I moved to Greenville, my wife wanted to live next to our family again. She and I were excited to be here with our children and grandchildren, and I really appreciate, I love South Carolina, I love the people. They're friendly, but for the deaf-blind community here is very small. It's only about 125 people who have been identified across the state as deaf-blind, and there are no services for people who are deaf and blind. There's no agency in Greenville or anywhere in South Carolina that provides SSPs for people who are deaf and blind. I end up having to depend on my family for transportation instead of being able to do it myself. I want to be independent. I want to give my family a break. You know, interpreters, I borrow their ears, but an SSP, I borrow their eyes. And that helps me get around. An SSP is fully trained to provide information completely about what's going on in the visual environment, and that gives me independence. Without an SSP, I'm stuck, depending on my family and asking them for help. I'm not able to be free. I've lost my independence. Moving here means that I'm lonely and frustrated and desperate and limited. I want an agency that can provide that change in my ability and for all people who are deaf and blind in the community. I want to see deaf-blind people's needs being met in South Carolina. I want to be able to find an agency that understands how to help people who are deaf and blind, how we can work together, how we can move South Carolina forward in providing services to the deaf-blind community, because they're hidden. They can't see, they can't hear. They're the ultimate silent minority. So what's the solution? We need to bring awareness, and that's why I'm here this evening. Not just to Greenville, but around South Carolina. We need to communicate with our legislators. We need to provide fundraising. Then that's why I'm here this evening, to let people know in the community, to help them understand what it is and what deaf-blind people need here to teach agencies, hearing agencies about SSPs. So we want to be able to to provide these services without limitations. So in closing, I am deaf and blind, but I want to be heard and I want to be seen. Thank you for coming, all of you. Love you all. Thank you.